Christina Linklater from Moose Factory, and I'm a community health nurse here, as well as the YMCA director for the youth programs there.
Vic Linklater, Moose Factory, born and raised, wheelbarrow driver. Entrepreneur.
What I love about the island, I don't think I notice it until I leave the island. Going south, it's the busyness of everything. Here is the, just there's a pace slow enough that you can, have a sense of spirit and calmness and be able to reflect on things. Whereas when you're not here, it just feels like chaos. For me, that's how I feel. And their connection that's here with the land, it's all around you, the water, the trees, the animals, and we can be close to our culture here, going for a boat ride, going out in the bush. A lot of our parents, grandparents were, so there's that connection too. And then everyone knows everybody helps. If there's something that happens in the community, that's when you notice all the boundaries fall. There are a lot of boundaries for a small community, but it's times like that remind us of why we're here, and here for each other, for people, service to others.
I travel a little bit in the world, and I was never quite at home when it were the places I lived throughout outside Moose Factory. I always had that longing to come back. So there's a grounding here. My roots are deep here, and I think there's a resilience here as well. What Christina mentioned about if there's crisis, or if there's some sort of community emergency, maybe a family was hurt, or a family was lost some relatives. We all band together and come together as collective community, as Cree people, and to support each other. It's very strong in that sense of those values, those Cree values of sharing and giving. I think that growing up on the reserve, way down as we call it, back in the 70s and early 80s, before all the technology arrived, before Facebook, before social media, before internet even, and cable, all we had was Coleman lantern and the radio. That was the extent of our technology, and it gave us a sense of community in a way that we went outside all the time. We were always outside as kids, and we always made friends with other areas of the island. Even though it was a small community, we still ventured out into the bush, and we're always playing outside as children. And it's a huge turnaround in the last 20 years, I'd say. Mm-hmm. 20 years since that era, or since that time. And I think we need to connect to that again, because some of my peers when I was growing up still say that. They still mention those, and they send pictures on Facebook about those times, but I think that needs to be brought back a bit, even for like a few days every summer, like where the gathering of our people starts. Maybe do some of those things again.
I grew up on the opposite side of the island, way up. It was similar to that. Everything was outdoors. Everything, going in the bush, building forts, making fires when you're not supposed to. Just trying to copy what we saw our parents or grandparents doing. My grandmother used to have a teepee where they would sell bannock cooked over the fire, and she would do that every day in the summer. There was a lot of tourism back then, and that's something that I've seen change, is kind of getting away from that pride in our area, because there's very few tourism activities now, and we're heading more to this economic development in terms of destroying the land, which is hard for me. Even though I'm not an elder, I still find it difficult to watch those kinds of activities happening when I think we have such a resource in our land and our people that we kind of need to
Step back.
step back and see what we have, because this place is pretty much untouched if you think about it.